recording in progress. I love that. Well, welcome everybody. I'm going to try to give you an insight to this song and give you some ideas of how to play it and also to have some fun with it at the same time. And now I know we have different instruments, everything from a small single keyboard all the way up to the aria, and I've been checking with a few of my friends and customers about what setup is used when you go to the song setup. And as we all know, we have song setup or songs list. And when you go to it, you can find Auld Lang Syne. Now, when you touch it, of course, it's going to set up the actual background, the setting for you. But there's a couple of things that are wrong, and I'll explain that as we go through. And the song, if you need it, is in the email. You can download it, and we're also going to show you some pictures. One of the things you got to remember, there's so many Christmas songs, but there's hardly any one that we know for New Year's, which is actually one. But there is another one, which I think as a finale, I'll play it for you. It's really a cool song if you don't know it. So about Auld Lang Syne, it's actually a drinking song. And actually it's a poem. And the poem is from Robert Burns, and it goes back to 1788. There's 5 verses of it. And it's never really been copyrighted, so somebody can really get away with doing so many things with this, so we can actually print this without a problem, like we have copyright laws. So there's nothing attached to Auld Lang Syne other than the poem itself. Now, it actually was played by a group called the Guy Lombardo. Now, I know none of you are old enough to remember Guy Lombardo. I am old enough to remember. And they were called Guy Lombardo and the Royal Canadians. And they used to play this starting in New York from 1929 to 1977. When the ball would drop, the Guy Lombardo Band and its sound would play Auld Lang Syne. And I'll play it for you, and you got to listen to the saxophones because he had these real sweet vibrato saxophone section, and it's very conducive to the Guy Lombardo sound. So I'm touched Auld Lang Syne, and now I have it set up. And what's unusual, what came up is the background for Candelabra for Liberace. So I'll explain that when we get going. But here's the song, and you have a copy of it. And I'm going to touch C to start it in an introduction. Wow, and I had nothing to drink either, so I played that pretty good for that. I hope you enjoy that. If you notice something, I put a repeat sign in here in the middle of the song because that's the bridge of the song. And instead of going all the way back to the beginning, so I put a repeat sign over there in the third line in the third measure there. So if you look at that, you would go back to that note, that G7 chord, and then play the last three lines, and that would be kind of a tag ending, we call that, for the song. I hope you enjoyed that. Now, what happened is that this is the Guy Lombardo sound. Now, for those of you that have some of the smaller instruments and don't have some of the presets in front of you, go to your More section and you'll see in the More that you will have what is called brass or saxophone section, S-E-S-T-I-O-N, S-E-C-T-I-O-N, okay? And that will give you, and then put on harmony, or what we call the trio, or any of the ones that give you more than one saxophone. And that'll really work for giving you the sound. What background you should use is just use the mellow and a mellow one that you have, or the ballad. Both of them are fine for that background. But now here's the problem. Now you watch what I'm going to do. I set that up again. I'm going to push auto Lang Syne, and if I go to my normal presets, when I looked at them, there's none of them that pertain to the saxophone section. So I got a problem here, because if I go to the normal ones, they're not really fitting this song. I don't know why. What's this one in there? See what I mean? These sounds are not part of it. So what you have to do is go over to your More and go to Nostalgia. Write that down. Go to your More category presets and go to Nostalgia. And then pull up the list of what's in there, and if you look, you'll see the Lombardo saxophone section, number 9, and number 10 is the Lombardo Brass. And when you do that, you're going to have that saxophone sound that goes with Auld Lang Syne. You got that so far? Now, if you don't have that, I found another trick here. Go to the one that says band in your, it says band in your category preset. It'll say band, or you have the theater, country, and it say B band, okay, which means big band. So now when you touch that, you're going to see in there that if you go to number 9, it says sax section or brass section. That is about as close as you're going to get again to getting that Guy Lombardo sound. See, it's pretty close again. So there are ways saying, well, I don't have that Lombardo sound, and I'd love to have that play in this song. How can I do it? Well, there are ways. So again, let's go back to the smaller instruments. What you want to do is you want to go to your More section and find the saxophone in there and add harmony. That's number 1. Okay. Number 2, if you don't have that, and you're going to go to the category preset, big band, and then look at that, and you'll see that you have a sax section or a brass section, and either one of them will be pretty nice. Or pretty nice, isn't it? So those are the little tricks if somebody says, I can't get it. So now I have to tell a story. I hate to tell this. Okay, what happened many, many years ago, folks, we did not have these presets to set up everything. So when I first taught this song way back almost 25, 30 years ago, I had to have everybody write down what you would put down in the pedals, what you would put down in the lower keyboard, what rhythm you would have, what speed, what you'd put in speaker system, what kind of vibrato, what reverb, and the sound. So there was probably around 12 things you had to write down instead of just push one button. Well, about 11:45 midnight, my wife and I are having a party, and my phone rings. We did not have cell phones. And my wife picks up the phone, and she says, there's a lady on the phone here calling you 1:45. Well, what do you think she thought, right? It was one of my customers, and I get on the phone. She goes, Joe, help me out. I'm having a party, and I can't set up the organ. Oh, I'm going to cry. So now I have to explain, which even sounds worse to her, because now I got to tell her, now what you got to do is touch the bass, touch the lower keyboard, and and I'm going through it all with her, and everybody at the party is listening to me think I'm crazy. Who is this girl are you telling all this strange stuff to? And then I had to explain it. And I said, now try it. She tried. Oh, thank you. Now I can play O Lang Syne for everybody. So you see, you got it easy today. Don't cause me, I don't want to have anybody call me 1:45 about what I'm giving you today, okay? Promise me, everybody. Raise your hand. I want to hear, yep, raise your hand. I don't want, Inez, do not call me 1:45, okay? Yeah. She's laughing.
I won't. It wasn't me that called you last time.
So don't call me on this. So let's review it. I hope you like that. That is a great, great sound. So that is called the Guy Lombardo sound. Okay? I'm going to go through it one more time. And now remember, when you set this up, you can use song setup. Okay, I'm going to slow it up. In song setup, in this case here, I am playing on the symphony. And this is setting up candelabra. Some of you will have the setup, which is called serenade. Some of you, so if you see serenade, again, check to see if you have the Guy Lombardo registration. If you don't, then you have to go and find it. And how do you find it? You go to the more categories, okay? And then you look up nostalgic, press it, and then push number 4, and you'll see the Guy Lombardo settings, the sound that he used to play that for almost 50 years in New York when they dropped the ball. Now, if you don't have that, you can go to Big Band in the category, and in Big Band, when you do that one, you'll see that it says sax section and then brass section. Now, you need that to get that full sound. And I'll play it just with the one that's saxophone, which I think is pretty and very nice. So here it is again, and I'm going to use the one that's not Guy Lombardo, but is the saxophone section setting. And it's pretty nice. Pretty nice that way. And of course, we used to joke about this when we used to play this, that we used to have fun with the audience and saying, this is how the band sounds when we've had too much to drink on this song. It would sound like this. That's the way we sounded when we had too much to drink. So you can have some fun, and how you do that, you hit the glide, and the glide will get it out of tune. So if you want to have fun with your friends and saying, here's how I play this when I'm drunk, hit the slide on the pedal there, and you can have some fun and detune the organ. So I hope you've all had some good time with that. Anybody have a question regarding this? Oh, I guess I got everybody drunk. Remember, this is the only song ever written that really means you're supposed to drink. And the words go like this. It's the last thing I'm going to give you, and then I'm going to do one other song for you that is a different song that nobody knows for New Year's. And the words go, and you can look this up, shall all acquaintance be forgot, and never brought to mind, should all acquaintance be forgot, to old lang syne. For old lang syne, my dear, for old lang syne, we take a cup of kindness, that's a drink, for old lang syne. And surely you'll buy your pint cup, and surely I'll buy mine. And we'll take a cup of kindness yet, for old lang syne. We have run about the slopes, picked the daisies fine, but we wandered many weary feet. We have pedaled through the stream from morning sun till dawn, but seas between the broad have roared since old lang syne. And there's another verse, but that's just some of the extra ones that we have for that song. Anybody have any questions on it? I hope you have some fun. So again, remember, I have it. Oh, and I have it in the key of C, and this has the color codings on it. For those of you that use colors, you only need is C, G7, and F. Now I wrote in some of the more fancier chords, and I will go through those. If you get a copy of it, you will see that in the first measure it starts on C, and on the third count there's an A minor chord. Gives it a little more color, and that A minor is A and C if you want to know the notes. The next measure is G, but you should play that as G7, which would be F and G. The third measure is back to C. The fourth measure is the blue, which we all should know is F. The next measure, which is the last one in the second line, is C, and then we have that A minor chord again on the third count. That's A and C. Some people play it C and A, and you can do it that way. Now in the third line is really cool because the first chord is G7. And if you want to really make it interesting, on the third count, put an E7 chord there, and that's D and E. And that really makes a cool sound. So that one right in there really makes a big difference. Then the measure after, it says F, but you can also substitute an A minor for that F. Then the next chord is G, and you can substitute D minor, which is D and F, followed real quickly with the G chord, which is G7, F, and G. Then you play the C chord. Then we're going into the bridge, which starts a G7, and that's where, if you want to repeat, is the repeat sign. And then we have the C again, the A minor, and then the G7. Now I'm on the 1, 2, 3, 4, fifth line of music, and that's C, and then it goes to F, back to C again, and then there's an A minor chord on the third count. The word there is cup, and then we're down to the last line of music where it's the G7, followed by an E7, and then we have the ending of the song, the F, where you can use an A minor instead of the F. The G, you could use a D minor, and then, but you got to follow up very quickly with a G7, then the C, and that would be then hit the ending after that. The song is very short. It's a lot of fun, and it's a lot of fun to sing, and again, it's a song written really for everybody to have a cup of kindness. And I think we all need that today. So I hope you've enjoyed the song. Now, there's one other song, and I happened to come across this. I've started to add songs in my iPad, which I'm really enjoying because now I don't have to carry around 15 books. And there's another song for New Year's. Let's see if I can pull it up here quickly. It's called What Are You Doing for New Year's Eve. And write that down if you want another song that was written. It was written in 1947, just to give you an idea. And it's called "What Are You Doing New Year's Eve?" It's really kind of a bluesy number, and I will go to the organ blues. And so I'm going to play it for you just to give you another song to have some fun. And if you want to look it up, you can go to musicnotes.com, and they'll have it for you, or even Amazon, I think, has it too. And again, it's called "What Are You Doing New Year's Eve?" And it's kind of a really cool bluesy number. So listen to it. I hope you enjoy it. Thank you.
What was that background?
The name of that song is what was the background was on organ blues.
Nice.
Thank you.
Organ blues. And the song name is "What Are You Doing New Year's Eve?" Great number. It kind of is one that people won't be singing, but it's a real cool little jazz number. So if you want to have some fun with another song, and that's the one that I like to play. So I hope you guys have enjoyed this. I've had so much fun with you. Maybe this is a little shorter, but the song is short. New Year's is going to be a long one. And health-wise, stay healthy. And our condolences to what Robert Roman is doing. And I want to thank Joni Monero for coming in here and helping me out with the Zoom class. And I want to thank John Riley for calling me a couple days ago and said, would you want to come in and do this for everybody? So I really enjoy it, and you guys know I enjoy it. And I hope you got some knowledge of it. And again, if you want to, do not call me 11:45 midnight. I'd appreciate it. You can call me in the stores between 9 and 5. I would appreciate that.
You didn't give us your cell phone number.
All right. God bless everybody. And okay, unless we have some final questions, otherwise, I'll see you in class, and I'll see you on Zoom. And I actually will probably end up seeing you next year. Again, bye-bye, everybody.
Thank you, Joe. Bye. Happy
Joe.
New Year.
Happy New Year, Joe.
Joe.
Thank you.
Happy
Thank
New
you.
Year, Joe.
Happy New
Happy
Year.
New Year.
Thank you.
Happy New Year.
Is there an app for downloading music onto your iPad, or how do you do that?
Question? Yes, actually, I have music notes, and there's another one called, you would ask me, Fourscore, FOR score.
Okay,
Okay, and there's a couple other ones, but those are the ones I use.
okay, thank you.
Oh, you got it. Happy New Year.
Happy
Happy
New Year. Thank you.